everyone. Today we're going to have the second tasting of my base porter with 40L and chocolate malt. Now I'm doing a series, I'm doing some grains with some darker or adjunct malts to see what I like best in a porter. These are small batches. I won't go over all that, but I will link a card up above if you want to go through it. So because this is second tasting, you can find the recipe down in the description if you want. But this was bottled on 12/18. The first tasting was 1/18, and this is 2/18, so this is the second tasting. 4.81% ABV, 7 carbonation tablets. Beersmith called for this to be 5.4% ABV, so we are a little bit lower. This did use Fuggles, which I think in the first 3 batches I used. Good hiss, good smoke. Then I ran out of that and switched over to Northern Brewer, and that's what I've been using. But I'm going to switch it up again. So let's go ahead and get it in here. It looks like it might be overcarbed a little. Looked like it wanted to come up. Now these aren't going to be in order now. I figured I would do the lighter one before the darker one. There is also the same version of this with 60L, so Crystal 60 instead of the 40. But I figured I did them in order as I brewed them, but now that I have some more, we'll do some side-by-sides, but might as well start with the lighter one. So if we look at this, light tannish colored head, small and medium bubbles, a little over a finger of head. Bubbles on the side are compact like dish soap. Good head on there. It doesn't look like it's coming up too much, so I would say it is carved okay. I probably put it too close to the top when I bottled them. For the color, I would say it's dark brown in color. It's definitely not black. I would say that's fine for a porter. I do have a small darker amber hue at the bottom that's a little lighter than the rest of the beer. But for the most part, for a porter that's, you know, using Pale Malt, then Crystal Malt, then Chocolate Malt, I would say that's fine. You'll have to go back and look at the first review. I do not look at the reviews prior to doing the next review, so I don't remember what the color looked like. But I want to say it's probably mellowed out a little, and it's a little darker than I remember, but I'll have to go back and look. Let's go ahead and smell. Lightly roasted malt. I would say like a bitter chocolate was used. It's not as sweet as, let's say, if you wanted a sweeter porter, but it almost smells like there's too much hops or like too much dark bittering malts were used. I definitely get like a malty base, but yeah, there's a slight, say, bitter chocolate in there, real light. Okay, let's go ahead and taste. Light roasted malt, bitter chocolate, a little bit more bitter chocolate in the taste than in the smell. It feels like that roasted malt is amped up a little bit, being 2 months old. In the back of the palate, I'm getting more of that roasted malt than anything. Kind of roasted, very light coffee with a hint of chocolate. Yeah, it's like, I almost want to say like an older porter, like a 6 to 12 month porter, where maybe that chocolate starts coming in and some of that bitterness from the roasted malt starts kicking in. The aftertaste isn't bad. It's kind of I want to say like a sweeter coffee chocolate now, but that bitterness is still there. Per Beersmith, this is 29.7 IBUs. So the perceived bitterness could be higher coming from that chocolate malt, the darker malts. Carbonation level, I think, is good. The weird part, at least it's probably my brain, but you get that roasted malt, and I'm thinking it's going to be a heavier beer, and then it's like water. If that makes any sense. I could drink this all day, though. It seems, yeah, it seems like the first time I had this, and I'll have to go back and watch the video, it was better. Maybe that chocolate was a little bit more out there, and that roasted malt bitterness was toned down just a little bit, or hadn't came out as much. But yeah, it is rising, so it might be overcarbed a little bit. So I might have to go back, instead of 7 tabs, try 6, which I can try on the next couple batches. Overall, it's good. If I had to score this, I'd go 3.25 out of 5. It's definitely drinkable. Just it needs more layers. But again, I'm testing these, so I want to test one by one and see what I get. So yeah, if you made a porter like this, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you made. If you like this video, check some more out over here. And until next time, happy brewing.